What's up, my people? Welcome back to the channel. Today the video is gonna be a little longer, but you will not regret watching this. So let's go.
TikTok will be banned in the United States on January 19th, so says the Federal Appeals Court in Washington, D.C. The three-judge panel issued their ruling on TikTok's case just moments ago in this 92-page order. The judges ruled the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act does not violate the First Amendment rights of TikTok or its users. The judges said they realize 170 million Americans use the platform every day, and this ruling could take away a place for them to express their free speech and take away, in some cases, their ability to make money. But the court said Congress knew all that and passed the bill anyway. The court wrote Congress judged it necessary to assume that risk given the grave national security threats it perceived. And because the record reflects that Congress's decision was considered consistent with long-standing regulatory practice and devoid of an institutional aim to suppress particular messages or ideas, we are not in a position to set it aside. That means the ban is going to move forward. So what's next? Well, likely TikTok will file an emergency appeal to the United States Supreme Court, and there are two options there. Either the court can take this case on an emergency basis, or they can choose not to take the case. They are not required to hear it. Now, if the justices choose not to take the case, this ruling will stand and it's over. If the Supreme Court does decide to take the case, then it is possible that they will put the ban on pause while the case plays out.
Yeah, of course they're gonna shut down anything that's gonna make you tell the truth to the rest of the world. Of course, it's gonna break down their agendas. So we saw this coming a mile away.
Just got a comment about this video. Escape from LA with Kurt Russell, and basically Kurt Russell is sent on a mission to LA because they're performing mass procedures on the entire country for them all to look the same. And it's a sequel to Escape from New York, but that's an entire other video. And so he's sent on a mission to rescue this woman right here from looking like these people. Let's get a close-up. Females will look like this, and the males will look like this. And that is what I hit an aha moment. Kind of like I did with the movie Idiocracy. How everybody in the movie Idiocracy was wearing Crocs and now everybody's wearing Crocs. But anyway, do you see what I'm saying? We're here. When everybody's saying they're all looking the same, they're all looking the same. They all got right. They're even getting the comedians. But what are the odds, right? And it's the same for the women. Some of them admit to having plastic surgery, some of them don't. But you go from this to this. I think we just made it to the Escape from LA part of the timeline. They all found that doctor to make them all kind of start looking the same. It's really hard to put your finger on. And it's like they kind of look like them, but at the same time you're saying, is that them? And they all start looking the same. But half of them state they don't get any plastic surgery. Kate Beckinsale stated that she doesn't do any of those things. Same with Ariana Grande. Same with Paris Hilton. What is going on?
Yeah, you shouldn't be messing around with that. You're only gonna look weird. Use filters. Everybody does.
Have y'all seen something come out of a mirror? So people are just now starting to find out how sinister mirrors really are. This girl made a video encouraging other people to get in the bathroom in the dark and watch their face change in the mirror. They think it's new, but little do they know, things like that have been around forever. Like, y'all remember the Bloody Mary thing? If you did that, let me know in the comments what happened. Come right back to this. So I know that you know in movies, we always see demons and things like that in the mirror. Specifically in the dark. But like I said, this has been going on for a long time. And there's actually a whole lot more to look into than just mirrors. The chemical compound used to turn glass into mirrors is actually alchemical. And alchemy is basically like a magic. Alchemists are considered to have played a role in the development of mirrors. Could have guessed that. Especially when you get into this. Screenshot to read it. And what really is chemistry but a great mixing pot full of chemicals and things to make other things? Like the spells in Disney movies. And speaking of Disney, do you remember Mirror, Mirror on the Wall? And they would summon this demon? You know, Disney actually shows you the hidden truth. Witches and warlocks went into hiding, but they're really hiding right in front of your face on the TV. Which is why in the movie The Ring, you can see this demon crawling out the TV. Y'all, they don't keep any secrets. People are just blind. You really think this was just a creative idea? Now back to alchemy being quite literally black magic, you can see that it's portrayed as chemistry wizard hybrids, much like astrology is a form of divination. There's many different kinds of magic. Okay, now that you understand that mirrors are literally made out of black magic as launching pads to other dimensions through alchemy and magic, Pride told them by the fallen angels to create this formula. Let's see what happened to this girl who is unknowingly performing divination in a dark bathroom gazing into a mirror. Pay close attention, I got one more thing to show you.
Guys, my face started to shapeshift. And I'm not crazy, I'm telling you, try this yourself. You will see. I do not know why no one knows about this. Personally, my face shapeshifted the first time I did this, into a cat.
She said cat, you heard that? So you notice how all the young children are going around saying meow, and we have Doja Cat dressing like a cat and Lady Gaga saying meow? It's quite literally a demonic spirit that's persuading children and other adults to act like a cat. That'll be a separate video. Let me hear your mirror stories down in the comments.
Mirror magic, very dangerous. Do not play around with that. I'm serious.
Just went down the Grand Canyon rabbit hole. It's even weirder than I thought. Rapid fire because you guys don't have an attention span over the 90 seconds. Teddy Roosevelt makes an announcement, hey, guess what? We're about to shut down the Grand Canyon. We're not going to let anybody explore it anymore. So before this took place, this guy by the name of G.E. Kincaid was like, hang on, I'm going in there. He's in his boat, going down, and then he sees something weird up in the corner. He pulls his boat over and then goes and finds these man-made steps that's covered with like brush and stuff and goes up in it. He goes into the cave and there's all these rooms, like enough for, he said, 50,000 people to live in this underground structure. Was it the natives? No. It had hieroglyphics everywhere, how to get there. That's what he wanted to know, right? So he starts gathering up stuff. He's looking around, he even names the place the Citadel. Gathers up some of the coolest stuff, sends it to the Smithsonian and was like, hey, I want to explore this a little further, but I'm going to need some people. And they were like, say less, we got a guy for you. They send this Professor Jordan. The professor's like, oh my God, look at all this stuff. There was even like a big statue, huge statue in the middle of it that looked like Buddha or something. Hundreds of rooms filled with pottery, swords, weapons, all made out of copper, bronze, and this gray material that they're pretty sure was platinum. Way before the Bronze Age. Like full-blown kitchens, things like that. Mummies everywhere. And just when it's getting good, poof, Kincaid and Jordan disappear, never to be heard of again. And now the Smithsonian's like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't have any help with that. That's crazy. But is it?
I've always been fascinated with the Grand Canyon, you know? I think in another life I actually lived there. I died there, I think. So I've always been pulled to that place.
A perpetual twilight is beneath us. So we have the sun above our head, which is 32 nautical miles in diameter. It spirals in and spirals out, bringing the seasons. Okay, the land beneath us has the black sun, which is stationary, and it's 800 nautical miles in diameter, and it's fixed because the astral jet has to come shooting out through that hole, hit the parabolic mirror, and shower down on us. Before, there used to be trees that light would go shooting through, and that was like the living, breathing astral web that spread out across the earth. And now, that's all been chopped down and we're living in a mining colony. Everybody is working for worthless paper backed by their own stupidity, and now their god is time. Their time is money. You will get to school on time, pay your bills on time, everything will be done on time.
Okay, we might have just solved the Bermuda Triangle. You know, countless planes, boats, and people disappearing into thin air in that area of the Atlantic that's just an urban myth. The world's biggest mystery finally has an answer, and there's a reason the US Navy intentionally avoids it. As retired Navy admirals, among other government officials, have confirmed that UFOs can travel through water just as easily as they pass through air. USOs, unidentified submerged objects, are our most recent addition to the tinfoil hat told you so checklist. And now that we look back with this in mind, reports from our past tell us we've been seeing them for centuries. As far back as 1492, in the personal journal of Christopher Columbus was an entry about a glimmering light he saw moving in the water below as he sailed the ocean. Just a day or two later, he hits land, which means that entry was written when he and his crew were right in the Bermuda Triangle. In 1644, the mayor of Boston is reported to have seen two bright lights come out of the water just off the east coast. 1873, the Adelheid ship reported to have sailed over a massive circular object in the South China Sea that lit up the ocean for over an hour. Something they said looked like a Ferris wheel, which kicked off a series of reports of the same object over the next few decades. In 1879, the HMS Vulture saw a large Ferris wheel spinning in the ocean with spokes that were 7.5 meters wide and spaced 30 meters apart. 1880, commander of the SS Shah Jahan described a massive Ferris wheel under a perfectly calm sea near India's Malabar coast. 1901, Persian Gulf, captain of the SS Kilwa saw lights emitting from the same underwater Ferris wheel revolving at a speed of around 100 kilometers an hour. 1907 and 1909, crews of the SS Delta and SS Bintang again saw glowing spinning wheels about 275 meters in diameter beneath the water in the Straits of Malacca. The Danish Meteorological Institute reported a massive rotating wheel with lights back in the South China Sea, spotted by the Dutch steamer Valentine, this time above the water in 1910. Reports like these have been extremely common all around our world's oceans throughout history, which sounds very similar to what's been seen around the Bermuda Triangle. Locals, tourists, and military alike have hundreds of reports of lights underwater, strange craft circling them, round objects rising and going beneath the surface. It's why the Bermuda Triangle is the Bermuda Triangle. Countless stories about unexplained disappearances, metallic objects, and lights seen in the ocean, which survivors of accidents in the triangle have very commonly reported on. In 1945, we have the now famous story of the 5 military bombers flying over the triangle on routine training. All 5 planes vanish without a trace. The Navy sends a rescue plane and that one disappears too, all never heard from again. And the US Navy is well aware of the activity in that area, that's for sure. Like, did you know the Navy kinda has their own bootleg version of Area 51 they call AUTEC, Atlantic Undersea Test and Evaluation Center, which is located in the Bahamas in the Bermuda Triangle. I wonder why. A secret facility where they test their own, mainly sea-based military technology. And the personnel working there have also reported the same bizarre observations in the area, with some noting crafts up to a mile in diameter coming out of and going back into the ocean without a visible splash. Almost like these objects aren't affected by matter, which sounds impossible, but also kind of makes sense when you think about how fast and erratically UFOs move. Some researchers suggest these UAPs may have vacuum force fields around them that manipulate matter, which allows them to move and interact with our world in ways that seem to defy physics. Kinda sounds like a warp drive to me. And these aren't just rumors, by the way. We have ex-Department of Defense officials like Luis Elizondo who openly talk about declassified operations from down there, which only prove exactly what everyone else was saying. One story involves a Navy helicopter pilot who recovers test missiles from the ocean and was en route to retrieve one from the area, who was approaching the missile when all of a sudden something huge and round slowly rose to the surface from deep beneath the water. They couldn't believe their eyes as a circular object the size of a small island becomes visible just below the ocean right under the missile they were going to retrieve. Panicked and unsure what to do, they watch in disbelief as the object sucks the missile down and then sinks back into the depths of the ocean as swiftly as it appeared. Elizondo also talks about the Aguadilla incident, a video of a UAP around Puerto Rico that he confirms enters the water without making a splash, comes back out, and then splits in two, which the Pentagon recently debunked for being just a temperature reading mistake, but you also have ex-military personnel insisting it's real. And these are just the declassified reports, and he made it very obvious that there were many more incidents that he was not allowed to talk about that you could imagine would only get worse. So, what on earth is going on here? What are these gargantuan circular objects found in our oceans time and time again?
This was just recorded over Arizona. I mean, this is getting straight up ridiculous. Everywhere. There's a whole lot of people that are gonna their pants when they find out that it's not all Project BB. There's some other things going on. Maybe a little bit under the earth, maybe a little bit in the sky. There's a whole lot of things going on that people aren't aware of. And this one was just in California. So let me fill you in on a little bit of what we're seeing. So we have fallen angels in the sky. I'll show you that in a minute. We have fallen angels. We have demonic spirits, which are spirits. Then we have biological beings created by the fallen angels to hold the spirits of the demons that can match frequencies with objects and walk through walls. And that, my friends, is what you call a gray. But there's much more than grays out there. This thing is sitting there as a being of light changing its form. Therefore, it's a fallen angel. It could be a normal angel, but most likely a fallen angel. You can even see these things coming off the top of his head like antennas. Pretty crazy, right? We have fallen angels that are trying to appear as aliens. We have actual grays that are biological creatures. We also have demonic spirits that are screwing with all the people. We also have reverse engineered craft looking just like bears, which they have been paying the photographers to say it was a hoax. There's a lot of money behind everything. I can't say everything. And of course, we have the least threatening being the holograms. There's many more things I'm not speaking of. By the way, when the fallen angels fell, they took on the form of serpents. I'll let you put that together.
Yeah, I don't think that every alien is a bad one. Just like people, there are probably good ones and bad ones. And of course, they are dimensional. We're all dimensional creatures. The question is, are you a good one or a bad one? That's really what it comes down to.
The Matrix is a prison, and your mind is the bars. The Matrix is the belief system controlling your reality. Every thought, every word, every fear, it's all part of the program keeping you trapped. But here's the secret. You're the programmer. Every thought you think sends out a vibration. When you say, I can't, you reinforce the bars. But when you say, I'm unstoppable, you rewrite the code. The Matrix isn't an external prison. It's your own mind. And the way out is to shift your beliefs, speak your desires, and align your vibration with what you want to create.
Yeah, you want to break free from the Matrix, you got to start questioning it. You got to believe in yourself, know that you can do something. You need to take away the phrases, I can't, from your vocabulary. It's going to make your life a whole lot better.
Becoming an observer in your dream is way different than a regular dream. It's not lucid dreaming, it's not astral traveling, or a subconscious dream. So what I mean as an observer in a dream, it means that you are not really dreaming, but you're actually watching something happen in real life. Behind the scenes.
To dream jump to another reality, it's an amazing experience.
Do you know who this is?
Vampire, I don't know.
So he has wings and there's a chain on his ankle and he has a crown. Obviously, Lucifer,
yeah.
Satan.
I saw the chain, I was like, yeah.
Right? Now check this out. What foot is this? I know you've seen this statue before.
Is that the one in...
There's a chain and a foot. That's the foot of the Statue of Liberty.
Oh,
yeah.
I heard about this.
Now this statue, there's 7 points on his
I
crown,
didn't
right?
see this.
Statue of Liberty has 7 points on its crown.
No.
Now go back to the statue. What's by its feet? An apple. Where is the Statue of Liberty? The Big Apple. New York City. What do they call New York City? The Big Apple, fam. Why are they praising the Statue of Liberty, which is literally Lucifer? You know why it's holding a torch?
Why?
Because Lucifer was the angel of light before.
Yeah.
It's right in front of us too.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
But where's the most money made? Wall Street.
Oh, Wall Street.
Where's that? It's the Big Apple, fam.
And New York is the home of...
Taking it a step further. Ready?
Yeah.
Ready? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Ready? Where did that happen in New York? The healthcare thing. No, that's a stretch.
Introducing the Melted World Theory.
There's a theory out there that at one point the world became melted, and some even point to ancient civilizations using nuclear weapons, and they point to the melted buildings all around the world, the red brick and the granite buildings that you see. When they ask the question, what caused this to happen? And you might say, well, that's crazy. But the more you look into it, the more you're gonna find stuff like this, and you're just gonna wonder, what happened here? The official narrative is that in 95% of these cases, this is erosion. This is just minerals breaking down to look like mountains. And we see these buildings and these stairs and all these different stuff. It just kind of blends back into nature. In a lot of cases, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, nobody would build a place like this. Nobody would build some type of house in the side of a mountain like this. Many believe it was some type of solar event. The only question is when.
If you're a beginner and if you have a little bit of critical thinking left, you can see here at the top how it's just melting like ice cream. You see dripping coming down, you see scorching, you see here rock curtain coming down, you see bricks turn into blocks here, you see more dripping here in this area, rock curtain. You see here how it's all melted smooth just because it was cooked. And down here again you see a rock curtain coming over, covering the building, all the melt flow over the building and covering it. It's very obvious it's not a mountain and nobody carved anything.
There's a lot of places out there that look kind of strange, and it almost looks as if they've become melted. Now, many scholars say that they built these little houses into the cliffs, and much of this was just natural erosion. But I don't think that story makes a whole lot of sense. Why would people build these places? Why would they build right into the cliff sides? And sometimes we only see half of a door, half of a window. And then we have to ask, well, what happened? Many speculate that it was some kind of solar event, although some refer back to ancient Indian texts about their Vimana crafts that had laser weaponry and energy weapons, which could have easily melted stone. So what makes more sense here? Are we looking at simply erosion or something far greater?
I think these solar flares or solar flashes happen from time to time. It's a cyclical event. And I think something is happening right now. They're putting up a sun simulator up there to block the real sun. That's why sometimes, if you haven't seen it, the sky turns red. The sun is actually like a tomato right now. It should be red every day, everywhere. But they have put up this sun simulator up there to give you a false light. And when the solar flare actually does its thing, yeah, it's gonna melt everything. Why do you think they're building these tunnels, these bunkers, these places? And I don't know if you're gonna be invited to those places, you know?
July 23rd, 2012. A solar flare erupts from a powerful storm on the surface of the sun and hurtles towards Earth. Due to the tilt of the planet on this particular day, we barely miss bombardment by the apocalyptic flame. Had it happened 1 week earlier, humans would have faced a global catastrophe. Now, scientists say it could happen again. And next time, a solar flare could strike a fatal blow. Remarkably, over 5 centuries ago, Michel de Nostradamus made a prediction about the end of life on Earth that to many sounds eerily similar to the potential effects of a solar flare.
But then he gives some hope. He says, but the races of humanity will go on.
Listen very closely. The low rumble sounds like a generator running in the distance. It's now morning at the same home in the Castlereagh neighborhood of North St. Louis County. Beyond the birds chirping, you can hear the same hum in the background.
He was just sitting in his living room Tuesday night watching TV when he heard that heavy humming echoing through his home.
On Fox, we're learning more about a strange noise North St. Louis County residents say they are hearing.
This is a hum that Contact 2's Mike Colombo has heard a lot about. And as he reports tonight, many of you have thoughts on what that sound could be.
Lighten up now.
That's crazy, man. Man, that's crazy. It's like a trumpet. It's like a judgment trumpet.
According to witnesses all over the world, strange sounds from the sky are continuing to haunt all that witness them, and it does not seem to be ending anytime soon.
Lighten up now.
That's crazy, man. Man, that's crazy. It's like a trumpet. It's like a judgment trumpet.
Okay, baby.
Agafa'se mi geliyor? Selam İlhan. Evita telefon.
Wow. Wow, nasıl?
Let's take a closer look at the equipment used for working in the tunnel. The cutter heads on the 14-meter-high cutting wheel break rock fragments from the rock when they're rolling. The number and arrangement of the bits differ depending on the rock. Marty optimized them for the geology of Belkin.
When this machine tunnels through bedrock, it vibrates. The vibrations go out through the mountain, up in the stratosphere, bounces back, and create a humming, a trumpet-like sound. And when you hear the booms, it's because they're blasting through harder bedrock. And there you have it. They're digging.
So they put up this little show of lights and drones and keep you occupied with nonsense while they are simultaneously building entire civilizations down there for the better class of people to survive this solar flare event. Yeah, man. It's sad, man. Alright, now you're gonna see something real funny for all you moon people out there. Check this out.
It's time we talk about the moon landing and these shadows and whatnot. Why are the shadows going that way and that way? If it's one light source, yeah, hold on a second. So I went through and looked at a lot of pictures from the moon landing on the NASA website, right? And if you can see these angles, man, the light, why is it doing that? Why? Here's a picture from the moon, man, but people always say, like, why is there not like a picture of Earth, you know what I'm saying, from space? Well, they're like, oh, there is. When they say there is, this is what they're talking about. Look, this is clearly 1,000%. This is the NASA Blue Marble 2002 picture, yeah. I mean, wait, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, CGI marble. Look, all these that are circled are the same exact picture, okay? Copy, paste. Then you got this picture right here from the dark side of the moon, the back side of the moon, dude. Watch this. This guy, like, increased it. I mean, look, you can see they didn't even try, man. Don't get me started on the space station either. Take pictures like this right here, make them look like that.
That radio command link. Actually, actually, it's a link along that tether line you see there, 25 feet of umbilical cord. That contains the life support system and communications link from the spacecraft life support system out through that chest pack.
So crazy.
It's one small step for man,